Most Pilates workouts start with a move called the 100, and that's what we're going to go ahead and start out with today. So go ahead and get on your side or get on your back, imprinting your back into the mat, and we're going to lift our legs into a tabletop position. We're going to go ahead and put our arms out to the side, and we're just going to tap the water. While we do this, go ahead and make sure your knees are together and you're pushing your ankles together as well. During all these exercises, make sure you're drawing your abs in and tightening them to utilize your muscles as much as possible. The next exercise, we're going to go ahead and put our feet flat on the ground, arms back to our side, and we're going to pretend like we're holding a tennis ball under our chin. So as we come up and do the roll up, we're articulating each spine and each vertebrae. To make this exercise easier, you can actually go ahead and hold on to your hamstrings as well, helping pull yourself up. But make sure you keep your feet anchored into the ground. The next exercise, we're just going to go ahead and roll over to our stomach, and we're going to do a Pilates plank. So go ahead and be on your stacking your wrist and your shoulders, and go ahead and bring your hips up to your ribs. This helps draw in your abs and create a C curve that is really popular in Pilates. After this, we're going to go ahead and roll over to our sitting position again. We're going to come up to our side, try to sit up straight, and we're going to go and do a spine stretch. So we're going to reach forward, keeping our hands between our arms, and while doing this, actually go ahead and try to make it feel like you're bringing your lower back to the back wall. Come up, sit straight again, same thing. We're going to reach forward, and we're going to imagine like we're having a string tied around our waist, and it's being pulled to that back wall. Okay. Now for this next exercise, same position kind of, but we're going to be holding our legs up or our hips up, and we're doing a reverse plank. Try to keep the integrity of this form as much as possible, stacking your hips and your shoulders still, and keeping a straight line from your head to your ankles. We're going to flip over now, and we're going to go into a swimming pose. So we're going to be on our stomach. We're going to reach our arms out in front of us, and we're going to reach our legs up behind us as well. And try to keep your chest up as well. So while we do this, just go to the speed of which you can coordinate the movement. And another thing to remind is try to keep your belly button up and away from the mat. You don't want to be curved like a banana. You actually just want to be pulled out and lengthened for this exercise. Alright, for the next exercise, we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to be on our side for this one. So you want to bring your feet to the front edge of your mat, just having a slight curve. And we're going to bring our foot up about 6-7 inches above, and we're going to go and do front kicks. You can have your top arm up to stabilize, and we're going to bring our leg up, pump it twice, and we're going to point our leg back. Pump it twice. Now we're going to come to the side. Try to hold it, maybe give it a pump at the top. And then we're also going to go ahead and we're going to go into our legs or our side circles. Go ahead and make sure you're in your Pilates stance for this. So you're going to be pointing your heels, kind of making them in a V. And you're going to go ahead and make sure you do this in your front and backwards direction. Switch over to the other side. Same thing. We're going to bring our leg up to the front, give it a double tap, and then back. And this top arm, try to just use it as much as just to control your balance as opposed to holding yourself up. Now we're going to go on to our side leg raises. And then we're going to go into our circles, making sure we have that Pilates stance. only go as fast as you need to. Try to keep your hips stacked on top of each other, and only go so fast where you feel like you're in control. For this next exercise, it's going to be a Pilates mermaid. So we're going to stand up. Try to keep your hips and your shoulders stacked on top of each other. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to fall to our elbow on this side, and we're going to stretch over. And I feel like it helps also when you try to keep it where your chest and your hips feel like they're all in the same perimeter, where they're all kind of flat, facing the same direction, the same angle. And we're going to reach the other side, grabbing our outside shin, reaching over, elongating this left side. We're going to switch over. We're going to fall to our elbow, shortening that distance on our what is now our right side, and increasing that distance right over here. Then we're going to go on the other side again. Trying to reach up way over. Don't bring your elbow up too far or put it behind your head too much. You want to try to keep it in a straight line as much as possible. The next exercise, we're going to go to our kneeling side kicks. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to get actually in a kneeling stance. And when we get here, we're going to fall over to a side. And we're actually going to try to keep your knee and your hip stacked on top of each other, as well as your wrist and your elbow. For this, you're not going to be able to have as much range of motion, but we're going to be the same move as earlier. So you bring your leg up forward, 2 pumps, and then back. Other side. Fold to the side. Stick your leg out. Bring it up. Forward. 2 pumps. Back. Forward. Now we're going to go back down to our side. This time we're actually going to lay all the way flat on our bicep, and instead of having your hand on the ground to make it a little more challenging, let's try to keep it up on our hips. We're actually going to do a double side leg raise. So you're going to bring it up, hold it for a second, and then down. Up, down. Other side. I've actually also heard it used in another video I've seen of someone doing a Pilates workout where they actually say, imagine like you're a piece of toast trying not to get burned in a toaster. So we're actually pulling in the front and back, and your front abdomen and your back, really tightening up your whole core. But you also want to relax the rest of your body to make sure it's not too tense at the same time. All right. For the next one, we're going to be doing a Pilates saw movement. So go ahead and have your feet a little bit above shoulder width. And we're going to go get our T, try to get pulled straight up. We're going to go to side, pinky finger to pinky toe. Back up to the T. And to make it a little bit easier, if you'd like, you can actually put your hand behind you to help give you a little more push. But try to keep your back as straight as possible. Alright, now we're going to go to the thread the needle. We're going to go ahead and try to make that a nice box right here. Sorry, my shirt's a little baggy, but a nice box right there. And you're going to go ahead and with your outside hand, you're going to go ahead and thread the needle along the mat, pulling it up, following your hand out to the side. Now the other side, thread the needle, following it up. One more. Now we're going to go ahead and go now on to a Pilates push-up. Just normal push-up position, but we're going to go ahead and we're still going to bring our hips to our ribs, helping draw in our abs and creating that C curve. You're also going to have your hands a little bit closer together than in a normal push-up. Now we're going to move on to our back again, and we're going to go ahead and move to bridges. So for this, have our feet a little bit farther from our butt, lifting our hips, and then if you want to make it a little more challenging, what you can do is while you keep your hips in this locked position, bring your right leg in, and then we're going to just take it straight out. Try to keep your integrity of the line though that you're making with your whole body if you want to do it like this. Another leg. If you want to finish out, just go ahead and get a few seconds of it staying locked out in a good fixed position before you come down. Next, we're going to go into a corkscrew. So back in your back again. Focus on keeping your lower back imprinted on the mat. Feet to help stabilize the sides. Legs in a Pilates stance, meaning kind of like a V. And we're just going to go, and we're actually going to form a little U. Now only go so far that allows your hips and your lower back to remain imprinted on the ground. And then for this last exercise, again on our back, having our feet anchored, lift one leg up, Pilates stance tilted out, and we're going to be doing leg circles. So we're going to go clockwise first. Try to keep your other leg that's anchoring your body. Try to keep it as still as possible. I found that that's actually one of the harder parts of doing this exercise. And if you can learn to keep it still, that definitely helps you utilize your core and give you a much better workout. Now other leg. And we're actually going to go back to this other leg again. Make sure you go both directions, clockwise and counterclockwise. Other leg again. Alright, another Pilates workout today. You guys have a great day.